Real Science Odyssey and History Quest from Pandia Press are on sale this month, March. So we just ordered Astronomy for Matthew next year, and I wanted to go ahead and show it to you in case it interests you and you want to take a look so that you have time to buy it while it's still on sale. So I bought the printed version of the student book, and then I printed the teacher guide myself. So we'll start with this one, and then I'll show you inside the teacher guide. This is a course that's designed for 12 to 16 weeks, I think is what it said, 12 to 14 weeks. We are going to space it out over the year and then add some other things to it. When I have all of that decided, I will be doing an astronomy video and sharing what we'll use. And this one says grade 6 to 10 with an aim of grade 6. I will say straight out that I would not use this as a high school one unless you bulk it up quite a bit. I was expecting it to be like a traditional textbook bound, so I was actually glad because it has pages that the student can fill in, like questions at the end of the chapter. And so I like it that it's consumable if you want it to be, and if you don't, well, you have to fill it in. Starts with a table of contents, of course. There are 12 chapters in it, and it goes, the sections are Universe and Cosmology. Unit 2 is Solar System. Unit 3 is Homeward Bound, all about the Earth. Oh, and that's it. There is an introduction to astronomy for your student to read. And then Unit 1. At the beginning of every unit, there's a little something. This one's a poem. Another one is like the order of the planets. A little something that they can refer back to throughout the unit. Each chapter activity is clearly labeled of what it is. So, like, this is the read section, lesson 1, and this is meant for the student to read it themselves. You can see lots of graphics and tables. I really appreciate all of that. More interesting than some textbooks. So the reading, let's see, in the first chapter is page 22, page 30, it's about 10 pages long. And I think that's, when I looked through it, it seemed like most of them were pretty comparable in length. In the teacher's guide, there is a schedule, suggested schedule, so I will show you that. They have one for 2 day a week, 3 day a week, and 5 days a week. After the reading comes the Explore section. You can see a little telescope. That's the Explore sign. And this one is a lab that you're supposed to do throughout the entire book. So there's nice explanation about some information, background information, and then how to do the lab. And there's a material section, and then the actual procedure of what they're going to be doing. After the lab are their lab sheets. And then this one, since it's a long-term lab, there is more of lab materials in it. And then not every chapter has an additional activity, but this one does. Again, information about it, and the materials and procedure. Every chapter also has a famous science series. A little absorb sign here with the brain. And just some information that relates to the topic, but is digging into something else. So this one is about the Mars rover, Curiosity. Other ones have different astronomers, that sort of thing. Now, they do have other areas, so your chemistry, biology, there's an earth science. I think there is a, what about like ecological science maybe? And they have levels 1 and 2. They all have a similar format, so if you are interested in the format but don't want astronomy, go check out the other ones. And then the show what you know. So the questions for the students to go through and show what they remember from what they learned in that section. Now again, Chapter 2, same format. The reading, lots of illustrations. I love that. I think that'll be a good fit for Matthew. He absorbs well from that kind of thing. Then the lab. See, it's a much shorter reading on this one. Materials, procedure. And then this one just had a 1-page lab sheet. Another famous science series, Hubble, and I show what you know. So they all, it's the same format each time. Now there is, for the end of each unit, so every 4 chapters, there is a unit exam in the back of the book if you want that. It's got a nice variety of different questions. We don't usually do test things. In fact, I don't think we ever really have, other than standardized with the boys. But I think Matthew may actually enjoy that. And I think it would be good for him to get some practice with different formats of questions. So we will probably do at least one of the unit exams. And then unit 2, as you can see, it's the same format. Something here at the beginning for them to refer to, learn as they go through the rest of the unit. Same format. Paper is nice. It's a little slick without being too slick. I'm always thinking about paper quality and how it feels. So that is the student guide. And if you have any other questions about what's in here, please leave me a comment down below and I will take a look in it if I can answer anything for you. And now let's look at the teacher's guide. I will say this, if you print out, make sure you check which, in the print dialogue, which way is going to be best for your computer. I think I printed on actual size and it was a little big. I had to take a few tries to get some of these pages correct. No, I only printed this page in color. Everything else I printed in black and white. Table of contents, introduction to the course, how it's structured, what each part means, information about the unit exams. I think the teacher guide is well done. It's not overwhelming and it's clearly laid out. Just what you need to know. I'm pretty particular about my teacher's guide and I don't always purchase them, but I was afraid in this one, I just thought it might be easier for that, or for this one. Have materials list by chapter and by alphabetical order. This is only in the teacher's guide. Otherwise, in this one, they only have it by in each chapter. So if you want a comprehensive list, this is the only place to find it. And now, unit 1. Let's see over here, they give you the 2-day-a-week schedule, 3-day-a-week, and 5-day-a-week. I think that what we're going to end up doing is science 3 days a week, but spread this out over the entire year. So that like 1 week he will do this, and then the next week he will use other materials. I think that's the way we're going to do it. We've been debating. So, introduction to the unit, to the chapter, lots of good information about what you need to know as the parent in order to help your child absorb it all. Some extra resources if you're looking for some. This science will be mostly independent for Matthew, so I do appreciate having the teacher's guide this time because I won't be as involved in it in the day-to-day of it like I have been in previous curriculum. So then your sections about the labs, what they're supposed to do in each part, information about the famous science series. They do have some questions. I think the questions are also in the book itself, but then they give you the answers for it. I don't expect that I'll have Matthew write out the answers to the famous science series in his book. So I appreciate that it's also in here so we can talk about it orally. And I've got the, I've got the information. Show what you know. They give you all the answers. And they give you the questions as well. Sometimes in teacher's guides, they only give you the answer. And so then I kind of do a back and forth between the two books so that I understand what the question is even asking. So a minor detail, but one that I really, really like. And again, next chapter, same layout, schedule. And in the back, they do have the answer keys for the unit exams. Again, they give you the questions and not just the answers. I love that. I punched this myself, and these discs, they don't turn easily. They're not the best ones. I wouldn't buy them again. But I did love that the colors look nice with the curriculum. So, that is Astronomy 2 from Real Science Odyssey by Pandia Press. Like I said, it's on sale through March, 25% off, both the printed and the ebook version. And they do have the other science topics. And then the history, it's a typical 4-cycle history as well. So go check it out, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you're looking for other science ideas, click on the video on your screen. I'll see you over there.